What's up, Husker Nation? This is Patrick Joy. This is Real Men Wear Kills TV, and we are breaking down Nebraska's dominant win against Northern Iowa. So my prediction was 49-7. My wife's prediction was 32-14, right? You predicted 32-14, right? So my wife predicted 32-14. The actual score was 34-3. I was a little closer on Northern Iowa's score. She was a little closer on Nebraska's score. Is what it is as far as that goes. Nebraska still won. We're still 3-0 for the first time since 2016. Hey, that's a great start, guys. That is an incredible start. Let's break down the game a little bit, though. Quarter one, Dowdell looked good. He was looking great. Our offense looked like they were just inflicting their will on Northern Iowa. Our opening drive was a touchdown. Defense was a little bit slow to start, at least from what I saw. Again, our offense was just rocking. Northern Iowa, their defense seemed a little undersized compared to our offense. They did kind of surprise us a little bit with it. I think we were expecting them to run a little bit more because that's what they've mostly been doing this season. And, they kind of surprised with a little bit of an air raid there, during that first drive. Definitely had some ballsy calls on offense for them. We did hold them to a field goal in their first drive. However, that drive was over 10 minutes long. That had a bit, the short gains that they were getting, just slogging through it. I mean, that had to really, take that long to get down there and then be held to a field goal. I mean, I can't imagine what that did for the morale of the offense, and had to warn them out a little bit. Quarter two, Nebraska's defense started kind of picking the pace up a little bit, showing a little more dominance. Our offense, it just seemed like they couldn't be stopped over the first quarter, or the first and second quarter. First three drives was scoring drives, 3 touchdowns in a row for us on offense. Their offense started showing signs of wearing down a little bit in the second quarter. Northern Iowa fumbled on 4th down. It was almost like their defense just didn't, they just forgot to show up. At halftime, the score was 21-3. Quarter three, Hartzog had an interception. Dowdell was he was making some great plays. I'm sorry, Dowdell was just doing amazing. Our defense was doing really, really good. Harburg came into the game, but not as quarterback. He came in as a running back in the third quarter, and he did great as well. Northern Iowa, they threw an interception on their opening drive of the second half. Their defense started kind of playing a little bit dirty there for a little while there. Some blatant penalties that were just, I don't know what else to say about that. Fourth quarter got a little emotional for me, guys. I'm going to rant a little bit here, but I think anyone who watched the game, I think you know exactly what I'm about to talk about. In fact, I'll show you my notes here real quick. Just to give you an idea of my reaction to it. There was a questionable interception call. It was almost a simultaneous catch. Long ball deep down the field. Our player, I forgot to write his name down, name or number down. But anyways, he caught the ball. Now Northern Iowa's guys, hands were in there, but our guy maintained possession until he went down, and then Northern Iowa's guy managed to strip the ball out. They ruled this an interception. Matt Rule correctly challenged the call, and they upheld it. They showed multiple angles of this on the TV, and you could see clearly that our guy had control of the ball until he went down. Like, he had Northern Iowa's guys' hands were in there, but our guy had the ball to his body in his hands when he was down. And after he hit the ground, the Northern Iowa's player was able to strip the ball out. This is a call that should have been overturned. I can see why initially they called it an interception, but it should have been overturned in the challenge. I don't know if the ref was just blind, colorblind, maybe. I don't know, but Northern Iowa got lucky on this call. Yeah, I want to swear, I want to rant and rave on this, but despite the ref's best efforts there, we managed to win. We managed to win. And like I said, for the first time since 2016, we are 3-0. There's something about this team, something special about this team. Something I haven't felt about a Nebraska team in a long time. I grew up in the 90s into the early 2000s. My first exposure to Nebraska football was Nebraska football under Tom Osborne as a little kid. I was a little kid, I remember watching the national championship games. I remember watching all the bowl games. I remember going to the games as a little kid with my dad. I remember the atmosphere. I remember the excitement. I remember the energy around the team. I'm feeling that with this team. Like I said, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid yet, but it's poured, and it is looking awful tempting. Like it's poured, it's looking awful tempting. I just want to reach out and drink it. This feels like a national title contender team. This feels like just making a bowl game is too low of an expectation. Like just making a bowl game almost would feel like a letdown, the way this team is performing. And if this team continues to improve like they have been these first 3 games, there's no reason not to expect them to make the playoffs. How deep we'll go into playoffs, I don't know. I'm looking at my predictions. I talked about this a little bit last night. I'm now thinking we could probably beat Purdue. I had them as a loss in my preseason predictions. I'm now thinking USC is probably a win, and I had them as a loss. I'm thinking Iowa is probably a win. The only game that I'm questioning is Ohio State at this point. And honestly, there's a high likelihood that we could be 7-0 going into Ohio State. maybe 6-1. And we're coming in, especially if we're coming in 7-0, but even at 6-1 coming in there with all that momentum, got them down as a loss right now on my preseason predictions, but maybe we go into Ohio State and we beat them in their stadium. I can see it. At this point, I don't see a definite loss on this schedule. Ohio State's the one that maybe, but even then, I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, this team is doing something that we haven't seen in a while. And that is gutting out wins no matter what the circumstances. This is a team that knows how to play with each other. Look at Raiola. Look at Raiola. This kid is a true freshman quarterback. But you know what? He don't look like a true freshman quarterback out there on the field. Or even when they interview him after games. He looks like someone who is a 4th or 5th year senior with all the experience in the world of college football you could possibly have. That's what he looks like. This kid's going to be scary good by the time he becomes a senior. And this program needs to do anything and everything they can to keep him at Nebraska. You look at, some of these other players, Dowdell, you look at Hartzog, you look at, the talent that's coming up in the program, behind these guys. You look at the talent that we currently have. This is a team that, the playoffs don't seem unreasonable. Top 12 teams this year go to the playoffs. The Big Ten championship seems like it's definitely in play. Like I said, I'm feeling good. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling good. I think every Nebraska fan should be feeling good about this team. I think Rhule's on the right track with how he's, coaching these players. I think the coaching staff is on the right track with how they're, working this program. I think the players are on the right track and they know how to play together. We got damn good defense. We got great weapons on offense. Hell, even our backup QB, Harburg, we can use him in other places other than quarterback if we want. He's proven that. I think we got a lot of good things to look forward to this season. And I think we're going to retain our top 25 ranking. Don't know if we'll move up, but I don't think we're going to move down either. Like I said, I think by the, at least this week. Next week, we go out and we beat Illinois. Hey, you know what? There's a good chance that we're going to end up, moving up in the rankings. I think Illinois, Coach Rhule said something about Illinois might be ranked next week. Hopefully we'll still be ranked. I think we will be. So, yeah, like I said, I think we got a lot of great things to look forward to, and don't know what else to say about it. This is my gut reaction to this game. Like, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm feeling about this team. So with that, I'm going to leave it on a positive note there. Go Big Red.